Hello, and welcome to Flagship 2021. I love feature flags. Feature flags are great. By using them, we can deploy new capabilities quickly and safely. We can understand the impact of changes with small cohorts of users before rolling out to the entire user base. But have you wondered how this process works in highly regulated environments? How easy is it to make changes to splits for applications that are already in production? After all, feature flags are a configuration that influence the behavior of applications, so there are requirements to track changes to them, which can be used for troubleshooting by production operations and also by audit compliance. How can we streamline the process to rapidly change splits based on observability and other inputs, based on the requirements that your teams may have? So my name is RJ Jainendra. I am the general manager for emerging businesses at ServiceNow, and I will share a new integration being developed by Split and ServiceNow DevOps to streamline the process and deliver a great developer experience. So now the rate of innovation is accelerating, driven by the needs for digital transformation. Adoption of cloud, microservices, and container architectures, and a number of growing practices are all designed to help teams iterate quickly. We're continuing to see the increased adoption of DevOps, and more teams are deploying frequently, be that daily, weekly, or monthly. But with the explosion in the number of applications for new customer experiences or new employee experiences, meeting them wherever they are, there are a number of new technologies that have sprung up, as well as new tools that are being used by empowered teams, which makes the overall complexity very high to be able to deliver applications quickly and safely. Just to contemplate, a typical financial services application may have upwards of 40,000 configurations that need to be managed. And so with all that complexity, and it's inevitable that there are headlines like this, right, where incorrect application code resulted in traders being able to borrow unlimited amounts for trading in the Robinhood application, or customers' credit card information being left unsecured in AWS S3 buckets, making it very easy for hackers to access. So part of the problem is that organizations still rely on legacy change management processes when making changes to these applications in production. And these processes would apply to feature flags as well. So for example, in order to make a feature available to additional users, you'd have to go into ServiceNow, create a change request, provide evidence that that change is not going to have a detrimental effect, and then wait for some central advisory board or CAB to meet, maybe in a bi-weekly meeting, to review it and then provide approval on that request. And so no wonder this developer looks like he has a headache, and it's not a great experience. Now, in some companies, in order to appease developers, they simply sidestep the governance process and consider all application changes as standard changes with pre-authorized approvals. And so that's when you end up having the headlines like the ones I shared with you. So our purpose at ServiceNow is to make the world of work better for everyone. And we do this with our Now platform and with solutions for IT, customer, and employee workflows. Now, within IT, or more aptly for technology and technology teams, our solutions span the plan, build, operate, and service phases. And with DevOps, our solution is aimed at automating change management to accelerate innovation, but do it safely, provide visibility across all the teams in terms of who's doing well with their transformation and adoption of DevOps principles, and improve the overall developer experience. And so we bridge the needs of development teams who really need to be able to deliver innovation quickly with the broader needs of the enterprise, who's really looking at being able to reduce outages and lower the risk. So there are many tools being used by teams, and we integrate with these tools to passively collect data. So from a planning perspective, we integrate with the Jira and Microsoft Azure DevOps planning boards, Rally. We integrate with Git repos, whether it's GitHub or GitLab, as well as pipeline tools like Jenkins or Azure Pipelines. and then as well as testing. So for example, you may be using Sonar Cube or Selenium. And so we bring all of that data into ServiceNow and build a graph that links all of these data together. And so in this graph, you can now traverse from a Jira ticket to the associated commits, to the builds, the build results, the test results, to the artifacts, and even the deployments for those artifacts. And so we link all of this information from the pipeline along with operational information that's already in ServiceNow, as well as with the business context from ServiceNow. And so now, as you execute through the pipeline, instead of having these manual CAB meetings where you have to create a change ticket, etc., we can automate the creation of change tickets, and you can set up policies inside of ServiceNow. So what you're seeing here is a number of different policies based on the data that sits inside of ServiceNow that can be used to automate the change process, the approval process. And so what you're seeing here is decision criteria based on the amount of code changed, the results of the tests, as well as a policy that all the commits need to be linked to Jira tickets. And if all of these conditions are met, then the change is automatically approved. There's no manual review, and there is no CAB meeting. And so our new integration with Split is designed to work the same way. So in Split, for example, you could go in for a particular environment and you can set up that ServiceNow integration as the approver for a change in Split. And so with this configuration, what happens is now if you confirm a change inside of Split, we use APIs from ServiceNow DevOps to seamlessly create a change ticket in ServiceNow and send information to ServiceNow that can be used for the decision making. And so you can set up a new policy here that's based on a change to the Split. And in this case, we're setting up a rule where if the default rule is that features available to 20% of users, then this decision can be automatically approved. And so there's no need to then log into ServiceNow to create a change ticket and provide all of the information. You can continue just working inside of Split. And when you confirm the change, the ticket is created automatically. The condition is evaluated. And if it's automatically approved, then ServiceNow will call back into Split through the API integration, and then Split can go ahead and orchestrate that change. And so this streamlined experience keeps developers and product managers within the flow, and is overall a much better experience. Now, with ServiceNow, with our DevOps product, we're really filling the gap in the industry around automating the change management process. And what this does is allows the operations teams to be able to set the rules, those change authorization policies that allow the change to be created via API, data to be gathered, and then if all validation passes, automate the approval and then track it. And because all the data is inside of ServiceNow, we can also have auditors and compliance simply run a report to be able to get the data that they need and not go back to developers asking them for that information. So this integration will be available in the next couple of months. And if you would like to learn more about it, please reach out. Thank you very much. Head over to Slack to continue the conversation.